What's up, YouTube? It's the Real X Dawg coming at you with a quick take on Battleground 2K17. Overall, rate this is a pretty solid show. Give it a 7.5. Could have been higher. Some things were different. And skipping the pre-show, didn't watch it. And glad Eddie English won though. New Day versus the Usos tag team titles. Like that match a lot. It's my match of the night easily. Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, they will put in some work in that match. Great spots in the match. Xavier Woods ended the match with nailing the elbow across the ring. 5 stars. Nakamura and Corbin, it was a great match to me. It was somewhat unexpected as Nakamura was picking Corbin apart as the match went on. And usually that's pretty odd for a face, especially against somebody like Corbin. But he picked them apart, told a nice story in the match, and Corbin kicked him in the balls and ended the match. So Shinsuke won, but he lost the war. Good thing he's off on Monday. Natty winning was great, even though I'm not going to take away from the match because she won, because like people like, okay, it's obvious she just there as a warm body. Whatever. Even if she is, big fucking deal. You know, I wanted Becky to win. Becky did take out Lana and Tamina for what it's worth. Then she got rolled up and the match went on from there. Kevin Owens beat AJ Styles in what was probably one of the more controversial matches in the card. Generated quite a bit of salt. But it's a classic WWE fight to minimize AJ Styles' loss by the referee probably shouldn't have counted the pin. It extends the fuse because AJ Styles has a legitimate beef to fight him again. So I can't wait for possibly the payoff match at SummerSlam. Cena Rusev in the flag match. My thing about this is, it was a good match to me. Rusev started off kind of slow with the whole acting like a 2K CPU opponent by constantly going for the flag every time Cena was down. But it picked up midway through. My beef with the match was the fact that lack of strategy. I mean, there's several times Rusev could have picked up the American flag and just moved it back, chucked it back in the ring instead of made Cena walk longer. So the match to me felt a little rushed because of that. They could have extended it more and could have gave us a lot more. I mean, their last time in the ring was a great ass match. Matter of fact, all the matches to me were great, but this could have been better. The story was what got me, because Rusev is not doing the whole he's a super athlete from Bulgaria on behalf of Russia through Lana anymore. So he's not a wrestler picked up by Lana who's a Russian. So the story to me doesn't have the impact it could have had, considering the bitch we have in charge as number 45 and him sucking off Putin. This would have been a great way for me to see Rusev via Lana representing Russia getting beat by a real American John Cena. That would have made it a lot more. That would have made the match mean a lot more to me. Instead, he's Rusev representing his home country, Bulgaria. Most of the IWC can't even find it on the map. It didn't really have an impact to me. It really didn't have an impact on me, especially with what's going on in the world right now. Like I said, him representing Russia, our bitch of a president sucking off Putin. It would be nice to see Rusev when he got put through those tables looking up, losing, and John Cena beating the Russian. But I'm not going to complain too much, but that was just one little small things that I could have added to the match for me. And the Fashion File segment, I believe, was next to this point. Vince blue-balled me. The Prophet Dog got blue-balled because I swore it was the Ascension the whole time. Oh well. It could still be there, but the way this looks, I suspect the ninjas. And hopefully somebody can discover who they are. Sami Zayn won. Okay. General Order in Punjabi prison. I like this match once it start picking up. My problem is Order matches always start slow. And I know some folks can complain where the Singh brothers interfered again, and then like people, I guess, obsessed with clean matches, whatever. But they interfere, so the whole story of they're doing everything they can to fight for the modern day Maharaja for Jinder to get that win. And we had more excessive and unnecessary white on brown violence. And then when it seemed like all hope was lost for our hero, the great Khali shows up, stops Orton from escaping, chokes him out, while the hero valiantly climbs over the cage to retain his title. And the show ends there. And so, once again, about the show overall, I was sports entertained. Now, a short little thing I want to say about this is, to be fair to some of the IWC and stuff like that are complaining about how show book, I understand if I was looking at it from the perspective of New Japan, Ring of Honor, to an extent NXT. But the thing is about WWE is WWE, WCW when it existed, ECW when it existed, Impact or whatever form is in and whatever form is going to be in, they have never really booked the shows like this. WCW has never did this. WWE has never done this. And neither has ECW or TNA. They have never booked their shows the way New Japan does, because New Japan basically booked their shows as if they're real fights. Everything seems like they are either real fights or they're ultra serious, as if these guys are legitimate fighters and not wrestlers acting a role. So that's the thing. New Japan books it seriously. WWE does it for entertainment value. And the biggest difference between the two is you get moments like people interfering. You get these big comebacks and stuff like that. You don't really get that type of thing in New Japan. So the whole lot of extra stuff on top isn't present in New Japan, but is present in WWE. So for them, if I'm looking at it from that perspective, I'm putting it on that kind of perspective, this show sucks. Because a lot of overbooking, a lot of matches didn't have clean finishes, so a lot of matches up here left you wanting more. If you were looking at it from that perspective, I'm not. I know what WWE is. I've been watching WWE since the 90s. Know exactly what it is. Same thing with WCW when it was around. Same thing with ECW. Same thing with Impact or whatever. These companies have never booked their shows as if they're serious sporting events. They will say that on the surface, but they have never booked them that way. There's always interference. There's always some kind of coonery that goes on in these events for WWE. It has always happened. So this part is nothing new. To complain about that to me makes no sense whatsoever. If you're talking about how, WWE, if you're just talking about it in comparison to New Japan, I understand. But at the same time, I ask, why the fuck are you comparing to New Japan? When has WWE ever booked that way? That just really makes that argument hold very little water to me. If WWE was booking a show that way, that's fine. But you're asking WWE to do something that it has never done, and that's something that it probably would never do, judging by Triple H's comments, where he said before, NXT is a niche product for a niche audience. So in other words, even the guy that the IWC who once hated, now held as a savior, he said before, NXT won't work on the main roster. It's a niche product for a niche market audience. And it's obvious how they do things. It's pretty much indies WWE style. So even NXT interference in there, weird breakups, some gimmick matches, as opposed to WWE, where so many complaints keep making me wonder, like, have you been watching WWE or have you ever watched WWE? None of this stuff is even new. None of this stuff they do is some foreign concept to them. You go back and watch WWE all the way back from the golden era all the way up to this current era. Nothing's changed. The formula's always been the same. The only knock I have on that is WWE isn't doing some things they didn't add to the era as well. Because to me, several things they're not doing right, but I would say that for a completely separate video. But Mr. Real X Dawg, I'm out. Peace.